Who opposes queer theology discussions, and why do they oppose them? Who is against discussions around queer theology, and what are their reasons? This topic is important as it reveals the challenges LGBTQ plus individuals face in spiritual spaces. The main opposition comes from conservative religious groups, traditionalist Christians, and some theologians who stick to orthodox interpretations of Scripture. Their concerns are rooted in several key areas. First, many opponents argue that queer theology goes against traditional biblical teachings on gender, sexuality, and marriage. They believe that Scripture clearly defines sexual relationships as being between a man and a woman. Any reinterpretation that supports LGBTQ plus identities is seen as distorting biblical authority. Critics often claim that queer theology lacks a solid scriptural foundation to celebrate same-sex relationships and overlooks key biblical themes, including Jesus' teachings on sexuality. Next, the radical nature of queer theology is a significant concern. Proponents of queer theology aim to challenge traditional norms about gender and sexuality. This approach can be seen as provocative or offensive by some. Critics argue that this radical stance undermines the stability and unity of Christian communities. They feel that queer theology's anti-normative position creates a divide from more moderate Christian views and may alienate those who seek inclusion without radical changes in theology. Cultural and moral concerns also play a role in this opposition. Many opponents view queer theology as part of broader cultural shifts that challenge traditional moral values. They may see it as promoting a cultural agenda that conflicts with their understanding of natural law or divine order. This opposition is often linked to fears about the erosion of established social and religious norms. Some critics worry that queer theology could cause confusion or division within churches and communities. Additionally, there are fears about the potential negative consequences of queer theology. Some opponents believe that it could lead to spiritual harm or confusion for individuals. They may think that queer theology might alienate LGBTQ plus people who simply want to be included in church life without engaging in theological debates. Critics sometimes argue that the radical stances of queer theology could hinder the goal of acceptance and inclusion within religious settings. Understanding these reasons for opposition is essential for recognizing the tensions at the intersection of LGBTQ plus identities and spirituality. Queer theology seeks to offer new ways of understanding God, Scripture, and identity that affirm LGBTQ plus experiences. However, it faces resistance from those who view these reinterpretations as incompatible with their faith traditions. Creating respectful dialogue spaces can help address these concerns. It allows LGBTQ plus individuals to share their spiritual experiences without fear of rejection. Educating faith communities about diverse theological perspectives on gender and sexuality can reduce misunderstandings. Supporting LGBTQ plus individuals in finding spiritual resources and communities that affirm their identities is also important. In summary, opposition to queer theology discussions primarily stems from traditional interpretations of Scripture, concerns about the radical nature of queer theology, cultural and moral apprehensions, and fears about potential negative effects on individuals and faith communities. Understanding these factors can help navigate the complexities of LGBTQ plus identities and spirituality.